So we're up here today. I don't know, probably 40 foot, I don't know, 50 feet. How about that? Basically, what we figured out when we started looking at this job was we're going to have to do it one limb at a time, and we got to kind of clear a path up here so when we drop it don't bounce and roll. So a lot of times in life it's just one limb at a time. My face is all kind of smashed up because I got this helmet on, but and I am wearing safety glasses. I just took them off for the video, old school. People want to see your eyeballs. So anyway, all I can say is hang on, because we're going to keep trimming, and it is an absolutely beautiful day here in South Georgia, like 76 degrees. Can't ask for anything better than that in February. Y'all hang on. Man, we are live today from the Advanced School of John Mark Tree Trimming. The Advanced School. This is the way out there. So we got rope up there, something like that. Going down through this little guy. Way down there, tractor, professionally taught. It's all good. You can keep the boom. I'd rather be hanging off the side of a tree than in this little, I think it's the damn fiberglass coffin, if you ask me. Gotta go. So me and the oldest boy for about a week now, not a solid week, but a week of, a couple of days here and there, a couple hours here and there, cut down this old sweet gum tree. And I mean, it's a monster. Anyway, that's it. That is the last limb left. Getting busy living. It's been a kind of a cool experience. This tree is really old, but had become very problematic for the house. And I don't know, I kind of hate to see her go. I run through here all the time, and I can see that tree a way off. It kind of breaks my heart to cut her down. Got to be a she. But we're going to cut this last limb and let it rip. But she's a beast, man. Kind of reminds me of that little story, The Giving Tree. So we are getting busy living, making some memories. We've had a few close calls, but overall everything's going good. So hang on. So in the background you can see her. Big tree. It is bittersweet when you think about a tree like that, all the things that it's seen, all the things that it's witnessed. I don't know exactly how old it is, but it's been here a long time. We're going to go ahead and take her all the way down today. We got to use a rope to make sure we can pull it the right direction. But the wood is not going to waste. A lot of the limbs we got rid of them, but there's a young man that the boys know, and he's got him a little wood business, and he's a high school kid, so it's going to get split up, and he'll sell it and buy himself a Twinkie and some gummy bears, and it'll be, somebody will have a nice little campfire in their backyard and junk like that. So it'll be kind of cool thinking about it that way. But it's been a hell of a project. It's a non-paying job. But I kind of, at first I thought it'd be kind of cool. I'd rather climb a tree working out of this bucket truck. To me, it's kind of like a fiberglass coffin. I'd rather be hanging off the side of a tree. But it's really good memories for me and the oldest boy. And that's what it's all about, is making memories. And so this is the day, man. We ran out of daylight last night. We're gonna run it in the dark tonight. We're not gonna run into the dark tonight. But my help is coming. He's on the tractor, and we fixing to fire up the saws and put on all of our safety gear. And it's gonna be a beast to get down because it's just a big tree. But when she comes down, it's gonna make some noise, and I may try to videotape it, so it'd be kind of cool. So hang on. nobody got hurt. Well, it's an early morning here in South Georgia. Baby and I literally just finished our run. Run? You ready to go run? Okay, let me get my bag on. And we've been trying to shoot this video for a while, just kind of running behind schedule. You see in the background is the stump from the tree. The tree was all over. For 25 years, I've been coming by this tree, looking at it, but it had become very problematic. It was so much of the tree was hanging over the house that we needed to take it down just for storms. We are in hurricane land. So as we're up there cutting the limbs, and it was Zeb and I that did it with the boom truck, and as we're cutting the limbs, I kept looking at all of the Spanish moss that was hanging, you know, on the limbs. And I was wondering, like, if you took all that Spanish moss and you put it in a pile and you were able to weigh it, like what exactly would that weigh? You know, because you don't think a little chunk of Spanish moss, you know, it's all gone now, but it would be very heavy. And I wrote about it years ago. I don't remember the story, but I kind of described it like this. Before I retired, I'd be out doing whatever it was that I did. And to me, it was like I was this big paper towel, and I would like soak up so much of whatever that is. And then I would take it out here to the woods during deer season, and I would hang it on limbs, those paper towels. And I visualized that, and they would literally just like drip. And they would drip and go back into the earth and somehow filter whatever that is, whatever it is that keeps you awake at night, whatever gets inside your head when you're on a tractor. And you're not supposed to have anything inside your head when you're on a tractor except I'm having a good time. Or when you go for your morning run or your evening run and your head is just overwhelmed with whatever that is. And I wrote about that in a story that's kind of what I felt like was I was out there. And so when I was in the bucket, you know, and Spanish moss was everywhere, and this was what they call a sweet gum tree. Who knows how old this tree was, seriously. And I just was like, I wonder if the Spanish moss, you know, is like that. Like it's just holding all of this stuff and it weighs it. And then I kind of reflected back, a lot of reflection on this one, and I looked at myself and I was like, you know, is that what I try to do? Do I try to put my arms out and hold as much as I can? And then self-preservation kicks in, and I shake my arms and I try to get rid of some of the paper towels, the Spanish moss. This tree was so huge. We're gonna, you know, plug together a lot of stuff so you can just see tremendously how big it was. And the huge surprise was at the very end. We hooked up a rope to it, had it hooked to the tractor. We wanted to make sure it didn't land on the house when we were actually cutting the trunk down. And, you know, Zeb's over there on the tractor, and I've got our biggest chainsaw, which wasn't big enough. And I'm trying to cut this stump, and I'm cutting and I'm cutting and I'm cutting, you know, and we were pretty confident it wasn't going to fall on the house, you know. And I was like, and then the big surprise. So here comes the big surprise. Hold on. So as I'm cutting around, you can see I had a pretty good slant. I didn't want it to go back towards the house. And so I was cutting through, just minding my own business, running the saw. And then I noticed the saw got a little soft. And there's the big surprise. Massive. It's all hollow, except the outsides. Nice and big. When it fell, it made that great big hole right there in the yard. So that was a big surprise to us, that it was hollow. And probably during a major storm, it wouldn't take much. The roots were holding it up. So the roots, as I kind of look at it, are our 3 to 5, right? Our 3 to 5 core group of people who believe in us and, you know, support us no matter how bad we have shortcomings or character flaws. They just step right in and support us, you know, that 3 to 5, which is essential for us. I'm an instructor in suicide awareness and critical incident stress management, so I have a little bit of training in it. Not saying I got it figured out, by no means. No one likes to talk about suicide, but to me that was like a pure representation of suicide. This massively strong, solid tree, all these huge limbs going out. Spanish moss holding all this stuff. The sweet gums, which are... Hold on, I'm coming back. These little guys right here. I mean, thousands of them everywhere. And it's hollow. And so the research shows, simple Google search, roughly 50%. 50% of people who commit suicide, none of us out here had a clue it was coming. It just came one day. And there's a lot more to that. But my point is that even the most solid individual may have days that they're hollow on the inside. And that's where it's essential as friends, co-workers, loved ones, whatever the case is. You know, if your gut says they just don't seem like they're doing real well, say something, man. Just reach out. I don't care, you know, if I'm out here on a run and I think about my good friend in Miami, who I can't say his name because he won't share any videos if I say his name, but he's Cuban. I barely understand anything he says. If he pops in my head, I'm going to reach out. It could be a good pop. It could be a bad pop. I don't know. It's just, I think we're wired that way. And when you take a massive tree like this, and when it finally went and fell, I walked over and I was like, holy crap. I mean, the baby, she's in the back of the Jeep. The baby could almost fit down in there, you know? And I was like, how's that possible? It doesn't mean that we all have great big holes in us. It just means we all have days that are just not, where we're banging all the way out, as I call it, where our bells are getting rung really hard. And it's the importance of our 3 to 5, our support group. You know, people have bad days, and people have days where they can only see right here. They just can't see way out here. And that's what we're for. So hopefully, kind of a short video, it's on the ground, not up in a tree, because it's that time of year, we're on the ground more, that, you know, this video will work for somebody, and we can take the video and we can share the video, you know, and kind of plug it all in together. And when you reach out to these people, you don't have to say, hey, man, no, just say, hey, brother, how you doing? How's it going today? You know, we all need to feel the love. So with that being said, believe it or not, I got to go. I got a lot of work to do today. That's why we're getting an early morning run in. And I got to go see my physical therapist, who I love dearly, who wires me all back together once a month, whether I need it or not. It's all about maintenance. It's about maintenance here, maintenance in here, maintenance. That's how we survive this game. And so I'm on my way to see her, and then I got to head to the woods because the hogs are calling. Y'all have a great day. Appreciate the support. And again, if it clicks, their thought comes in, reach out to them. Really. I mean, and just reach out. Just tell them you're thinking about them. You know, because I don't think it matters how strong we are, how much knowledge we got, how much training and how much certificates we have. There's all many days, right, that there's a big hole in us. And how do we fill up big holes? With our 3 to 5. Have a great day. you.